Today is Friday, 21 August 2026. So we just finish our prayer, Friday prayer, and getting live to you to have some interaction, to have some information, introduction, to have some chat with our community. Anyway, we are live from Dubai International, and today is 21 August 2026. Remaining almost one more week to end the month of August. So until there is some viewers ask questions, we are here to feed our live, to read some latest news, breaking news, if there is any. Let's see the Khalij Times. You can send me your questions, your feedback in the comments. I am waiting. I am ready to answer your questions. So Khalij Times, official newspaper from Dubai and UAE. It says that UAE fines resident for offensive content. UAE takes action against insulting content. What social media posts could violate the laws? The national media authorities' standards cover far more than traditional news reports. They set rules for advertising content produced by the creators. UAE's National Media Authority has taken legal action against a female resident over social media content which insulted Emirati women. Her Mullen or advertiser permit was suspended for 3 months. Advertiser permit was suspended for 3 months. In the latest case, the authority said content posted through the resident's social media account breached media content standards and undermined the standing and contribution of Emirati women. It said it would not tolerate content that offends Emirati women or conflicts with community values and national UAE's national identity. Earlier this month, the authority took legal action against two people over offensive content during a social media live broadcast. It said the material breached standards linked to cultural heritage, national identity, and prevailing values. One person's Mullin permit was suspended for 3 months. The two cases were separate. Together, they show that posts, videos, and live streams can prompt action when they cross the line. So, on social media, we must know our limits and we must not cross the lines here in UAE. They have rules and regulations. We must follow the rules and regulations of UAE. The National Media Authority standards cover more than traditional news reports. They apply to media activities and also set the rules for advertising content produced by the creators. Posts that can draw regulatory scrutiny include content that insult or degrade people in a way that conflicts with prevailing social values, including content targeting Emirati women, attacks religion, national identity, or state institutions, or harms national unity and social cohesion, spreads hatred or discord, including sectarian, regional, or tribal strife, or incites violence, terrorism, or other crimes, share false claims, rumors, or misleading information, including forged or wrongly attributed material, invades privacy or shares material from someone's private life without proper care, violates public morals or promotes unlawful behavior, drugs or violence, uses advertising content that disregards your culture, identity, and values. So we are just reading the news until we are waiting for some questions from our viewers. If there is no questions, we have to read the news to feed our life. What is a Marlin permit? A Marlin permit is issued by the National Media Authority to individuals who provide advertising or media content through social media accounts, the internet, or other digital channels. It applies whether the content is paid or unpaid. What can authorities do? The US media regulation law allows for administrative action against violations. This can include a warning, a fine of between 1,000 and 1 million, temporary closure of violating establishment or media institution for up to 6 months, or cancellation of license, permit, and approvals. For repeat violations, a fine may be doubled up to 2 million dirhams. The exact measures depends on the violation. A permit suspension is one of the regulatory tools available under the media framework. What about the online insults? There is also a separate criminal law provision on online insults. Article 43 of the US cybercrime law covers using an information network, IT equipment, or an information system to insult another person or make an accusation that could expose them to punishment or contempt by others. It provides for imprisonment and or a fine from dirham 250,000 to 500,000. You can send me your questions, your feedback in the comments. I'm waiting your comments. I'm here live from Dubai International. Before you post, 3 quick checks. Before sharing a post, video, screenshot, or comment, ask yourself 3 questions. First, is it verified? Do not treat a forwarded message, an old video, a screenshot, or an anonymous claim as fact without checking a reliable or official source. Second is, does it expose someone's private life or make an unsupported accusation? Privacy and false attribution are both covered by the standards. Number 3, third, could it offer the community values, national identity, or public morals, or fuel hate and division? If the answer is yes, do not post or share it. So the media rules here in the UAE and Dubai is very strict. In the UAE, the rules can apply to posts in live streams, advertising content, and online comments. Recent actions show that content which authorities say harm dignity, community values, cultural heritage, or national identity can trigger regulatory steps, including the suspension of a creator's permit. So this is the news from UAE, Dubai regarding media. Content creators must follow the rules here in UAE. The next is news from Iran, of course. Kalibaf says Iran must plan to overcome unjust sanctions. Iranian oil offers to Chinese buyers fall as US blockade bites, sources say. Offers of Iranian crude to Chinese buyers have declined and prices have jumped this week as the US blockade has cut Tehran's shipments, according to trade sources, with the threat of more sanctions from Washington looming. The number of offers for Iranian oil cargoes to China for September and October delivery has declined from July and August cargoes. 4 trade sources familiar with the matter said the offer has declined as barrels already in ships on the water have been sold. Iranian crude held in floating storage outside the US blockade zone has fallen to about 80 million barrels from about 100 million barrels before the blockade was reinstated. Oil set for second weekly gain. Oil prices edged lower on Friday but were on track for a second straight weekly gain after the US threatened to impose the toughest sanctions in history with no end in sight for disruptions to Middle East oil flows. Brent crude futures fell 17 cents or 0.18% to $93 a barrel by 8 a.m. China says US sanctions on Iran not a solution. We are reading the official newspaper from Dubai. It's Khalij Times. Khalij Times is official newspaper from Dubai, UAE, Sharjah. China said on Friday that US sanctions and pressure would not resolve the Middle East conflict after Washington urged governments, including Beijing, to join efforts to isolate the Iranian economy. Asked about Trump's threats of economic warfare, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian told reporters on Friday that sanctions and pressure will not help resolve the issue. China calls on all relevant parties to take responsible measures and resolve the problem through political and diplomatic means. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has defended Trump's push for economic pressure on Tehran. When asked whether the U.S. would pressure China to join the campaign, Bessent told CNBC that many conversations are best to have in private, but called on Beijing to get with the program. According to AFP, the spokesman in Lin reiterated the need for all parties to take responsible measures in resolving the war. When he was asked about Bessent's comments, China opposes illegal unilateral sanctions that have no basis in international law and are not authorized by the UN Security Council. So we already completed more than 10 minutes. Our target is to record for at least 1 hour. Kalibaf says Iran must plan to overcome unjust sanctions. Reuters reported Iranian Parliament Speaker Kalibaf said on Telegram that Iran must plan to overcome the U.S. unjust sanctions after U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced that he described as the toughest sanctions ever imposed on Iran. U.S. redesignates Hezbollah to show Iran links. The U.S. announced new sanctions Thursday against an alleged Hezbollah financing network while highlighting the Lebanon armed group's close ties to Iran's Revolutionary Guards. Hezbollah's legal designation as a terrorist organization has been amended to note that. Hello, Thought Night. 123. Hi, how are you? Thought Night. Hello, Thought Night. How are you? Where are you? Let me know your question. Which country you are watching live, our live, which city or which region. You are welcome. Thought Night 123. Hezbollah's legal designation as a terrorist organization has been amended to note that it operates in service to the Iranian regime under the command of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, particularly the elite Quds Force, the Treasury Department said in a statement. The change comes as the U.S. facilitates direct negotiations between Iran and Israel and Lebanon, which remains technically at war. Hezbollah rejects these talks. Washington designated Hezbollah as a foreign terrorist organization in 1997 and in 2001 upgraded its label to a specially designated global terrorist group. The new designation specifies that Hezbollah is an Iranian proxy, not a standalone operation, as simplified by the previous designation. Trump blames South Korea for not helping in Iran war. So Trump blames South Korea for not helping in Iran war. Trump berated South Korea for not helping in the war against Iran and said he would meet the North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un this year. AFP report. He then abruptly scaled back annual military drills with Seoul this week, calling them inappropriate and hostile towards the nuclear-armed North. North Korea then fired around 10 short-range ballistic missiles on Thursday, while Kim's powerful sister mocked Seoul's master-servant relationship with Washington. Pakistan Foreign Minister says 2 sailors killed, 6 injured in recent Houthi attacks. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said 2 Pakistani sailors were killed and 6 injured in a recent Houthi attack on a Tanzanian-flagged commercial vessel. Tanzanian-flagged commercial vessel. The injured have safely returned to Pakistan, while the mortal remains of the 2 who lost their lives have also been repatriated. Dar commended Consulate General of Pakistan in Jeddah and the Pakistani Embassy in Riyadh for their prompt and dedicated efforts in facilitating the return of the injured and repatriation of the bodies from Yemen and onward travel to Pakistan. In the absence of a Pakistani diplomatic mission in Yemen, the minister added that Pakistan condemned the attack in the strongest terms and reiterates that the safety and security of seafarers must be ensured at all times. Dar said Pakistan is extending all possible assistance to the injured sailors and the bereaved families. Yemen's Houthis last month became the latest front to open in the Middle East war that broke out on February 28 with US-Israeli strikes on Iran. USS George Washington replaces USS Abraham Lincoln in Middle East. A new US aircraft carrier strike group arrived in the Middle East on Wednesday after grim conditions aboard a long deployed carrier provoked fresh domestic criticism of Trump war. The USS George Washington is replacing the USS Abraham Lincoln, which had reportedly suffered food shortages, broken plumbing, and a number of suicide attempts during a deployment that began in November 2025. Besant says less need for new military operations. U.S. Treasury Secretary Chief Scott Bessent suggested sanctions would lessen the need for new major military operations. As he said, the U.S. will impose the toughest sanctions in history on Iran. Bessent's comments on Thursday followed Trump's threat a day earlier of economic warfare and warning of economic consequences against any country that provided any type of lifeline to Iran. Hormuz traffic in single digits. Ship crossing at the Strait of Hormuz choke point were down on Thursday from the previous day, Reuters reported, amid growing concern over risks to shipping in the Middle East, with the US-Iran peace talks remaining in limbo. Thursday's tally of 7 commodity ships was half that of Wednesday, Reuters cited Kepler data. Of these, 4 ships were entering and exiting the waterway. No very large crude carrier or liquefied natural gas tankers were in the mix. However, one very large gas carrier carrying propane and butane did transit out of Hormuz via the Iranian route. War expands beyond military operations. The US-Israel war, Iran war already had economic repercussions. The page sometimes is automatic refresh. The US-Israel-Iran war already had economic repercussions for the world, with the global trade facing massive disruption, with US President Trump officially declaring economic warfare early on August 20. A new front has opened in the conflict. In response, Iranian officials have said its military will shift from defensive to offensive operations. US Treasury Chief Scott Bessent said the US will impose the toughest sanctions in history. Tehran condemned the sanctions, calling it economic terrorism. As the world keeps its eyes on the different types of warfare and the different players involved in this conflict, Police Times is here to bring you the latest updates. We are just reading the news from the latest update, Police Times. Let's change my location. Here time is noon time and I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling too much tired, so I need to stand up for some time so that I will not feel sleepy. I am tired and feeling sleepy, so I will just stand up for some time so that I will not feel tired. Yes, it's okay now. So we are reading the news from British Times. Today is Friday, and we are feeding our life. If there is no questions, we are feeding our life by reading the news, latest news and breaking news. Let's see the next news. Next news is pirates seize two tankers off Yemen and Somalia, 22 Indian nationals. Let's see this news from Somalia. Two commercial tankers were seized by pirates off Yemen and Somalia in separate incidents this week, hijacking crew from multiple nationalities, including Indians. On Thursday, August 20, one US sanctioned vessel was seized in the Gulf of Aden after six armed men boarded the ship and forced it to change course towards Somalia. The Seamal tanker, also known as Cebu 1, issued a distress call as it was approached 136 nautical miles east of Al Mukalla, Yemen, according to shipping monitor Vanguard. The tanker has reportedly been boarded by six armed persons who are now in control of the vessel and redirecting it towards Somalia, says EU's Maritime Security Center, Indian Ocean. UK Maritime Trade Operations too reported that the Sea Mall tanker was boarded by six armed people who took control of the vessel and diverted it towards Somalia on Thursday. So this incident has just happened yesterday. 16 Indian nationals aboard. Indian news agency Press Trust of India, quoting a senior shipping ministry official, said on Friday that MT Cebu 1 had 20 crew members, 16 Indians, 1 Syrian national, 1 Sudanese national, 1 Iraqi national, and 1 seafarer whose nationality is yet to be confirmed. The official said that according to the latest information, the Indian crew members are safe. It also described the vessel as an Eritrea flagged oil products tanker. The US sanctioned the Seamal tanker in December last year as one of the vessels in Iran's shadow fleet accused of exporting Iranian oil using deceptive shipping practices. It is one of four separate operated by a Gulf-based ship owner that transported Iranian petroleum products, including naphtha and gasoline, on multiple occasions and made port calls to Houthi-controlled ports in Yemen. Cargo ship seized near Somali coast. Piracy was rampant off the coast of Somalia in 2000 and peaked in 2011 before being curbed by international naval deployments and new security measures for commercial shipping. But attacks have surged again since April, with the 5 cargo ships currently held hostage. Most recently, a vessel that was seized near the Somali coast on Monday, August 17. The Cameroon flagged cargo ship was hijacked by 8 gunmen who launched the attack from a ship they seized in April. The hostages include 6 Indians, a Georgian, a Turkish national, and 2 Serbian security guards, Associated Press reported. The ship was heading for Dar es Salaam in Tanzania when it was captured. The pirates took the vessel towards the coast near Garmal in Puntland's Dangorio district. The status of the vessel, including its crew, and cargo wasn't immediately clear. So we are reaching our recording of almost half an hour. The remaining will be half an hour more. UAE residents look back on how Dubai transformed around iconic Toyota Tower. Toyota Tower is the news of demolition of Toyota Tower. Toyota building is in the news since yesterday because it's being demolished in 2027 after 50 years of construction. So end of an era, UAE residents heartbroken over Toyota building demolition. For years, the Nasser Rashid Luta building, more commonly called by the public the Toyota building after the bright red and white signboard above it, has stood tall. It was first an icon of prosperity for the young city of Dubai, but over the years turned into a nostalgic symbol for the city's long-term residents of its humble beginnings. For Sangeeta, who lived in the building for a year in 2012, the building became a symbol of resilience that saw her and her husband through some toughest times. We moved into the building because that is all we could afford at the time. So I have also memories with Toyota building here in Dubai. The next news is Prophet's birthday 2026. Four Gulf countries announce public holidays. So this is the month of Rabiul Awwal. To celebrate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, four Gulf countries have announced public holiday, giving residents and citizens a chance to celebrate the religious occasion. The Prophet's birthday is traditionally observed on the 12th day of Rabiul Awwal, the third month of the Islamic calendar, in many Muslim majority countries, including those in the Gulf. UAE. In UAE, Friday, August 28, 2026 was announced as a holiday for public and private sectors this year. This makes it a 3-day weekend for UAE employees who enjoy Saturday and Sunday as official day off every week. Public sector employees in Sharjah already get Friday off as part of their usual weekends. While the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, falls on Tuesday, the corresponding public holiday has been transferred to Friday, August 28, by the Cabinet except for Eid holidays. The UAE Cabinet may, by issuing a resolution, move any of the public holidays to the beginning or end of the relevant week on which the concerned event falls. This is in accordance with Article 2 of the Cabinet resolution. Then is Oman. The Sultanate of Oman will celebrate the Prophet's birthday on Thursday, August 27. So next week, all is this going on next week, which will be a public holiday. This will create a 3-day weekend. Then is Kuwait. Government entities in Kuwait will celebrate the Prophet's birthday on Thursday, August 27. The decision gives government employees a 3-day weekend, with the holiday falling immediately before the regular Friday-Saturday weekend. Bahrain. Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, issued a circular regarding the holiday commemorating the Prophet's birthday for the year 1448 AH after Hijri. Tuesday, August 25 will be a public holiday in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So this is the news from UAE, Oman, Kuwait and Bahrain. Yeah, they are going to celebrate the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the next week. So next week is very important for the Muslims in the world because we are happy on the birthday of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So the next news is from heat waves to 10 degree, UAE travelers reaching Europe, blah blah blah. Russian style. Okay, what is this? We are just reading some news from Khalij Times so that we can feed our life with the commentary, as it is a new requirement of the YouTube rules and regulations. Dubai-based teen becomes ACC affiliate, highlights early professional learning. Illegal partitions in Dubai's Toyota building. Why? So India's Indigo website experienced booking issues. There is some DP World moves 500,000 containers across GCC by road and rail. Institutional capital does not follow hype; it follows the infrastructure. Okay. Let's see this news. Rakesh business community reaches 50,000 companies. Ras Al Khaimah economic zone attracts business across more than 50 sectors as manufacturing, e-commerce, trading, and professional services expand. Ras Al Khaimah economic zone, also called as Rakesh, has reached 50,000 active companies as its business community continues to expand across manufacturing, trading, e-commerce, and professional services. The companies come from more than 100 countries and operate across over 50 sectors, reflecting the growing diversity of businesses setting up and expanding in Ras Al Khaimah. Rakesh said its industrial and manufacturing base includes companies operating in engineering and industrial equipment, building materials, food and beverage, electronics and electrical products, metal, apparel, and advanced and light manufacturing. Its wider business community spans general trading, e-commerce, media and marketing, wholesale and distribution, management, consultancy, and professional services. Rakesh has also increased its international outreach through roadshows, business missions, and partnerships in the market, including India, Europe, and China, aimed at connecting overseas companies with investment opportunities in Ras Al Khaimah. So we already recorded more than half an hour, and the remaining is half an hour. Our target is record at least 1 hour. The YouTube has requirement of watch hours, so we need some recordings so that public will watch our videos and we are going to get the watch hours. He said the impact goes beyond the number of companies with business, creating jobs, supporting industries, and contributing to the wider community, wider economy as the expand. Digital services and infrastructure. Looking ahead, Rakesh plans to focus on improving the customer experience, expanding digital capabilities, strengthening infrastructure, and developing partnerships to support further business growth. Jalad said the economic zone would continue supporting Ras Al Khaimah's long-term economic diversification while creating more opportunities for companies operating in the emirate. Rakesh said the scale and diversity of its 50,000 company community provide a foundation for its next phase of growth and its role in connecting international business with Ras Al Khaimah. Rakesh is a Ras Al Khaimah economic zone, and Innovation City is also the free zone of Ras Al Khaimah. So the next is DP World moves 500,000 containers across GCC by road and rail. Let's see this news. As inland network expands, DP World has moved 500,000 20-foot equivalent units across the GCC through its road and rail network since March, as cargo owners increasingly use inland routes to move goods across the region. The company said its GCC road network now supports around 3,000 truck movements a day, with 700 trucks recently added to expand across border and domestic freight capacity. New inland corridors. DP World has opened fast-track bonded corridors linking East Coast gateways directly to Jebel, established a corridor from Sohar in Oman, and added Red Sea routing options to Jeddah Islamic Port South Container Terminal. Ahmed Yusuf Al Hassan, CEO and Managing Director of DP World GCC, said moving 500,000 TEU's overland showed the scale and flexibility of the group's network beyond its terminals. He said the inland network gives shipping lines and cargo owners more routing options and greater certainty when moving goods across the region. New 100,000 square kilometer depot in Dubai. 100,000 square meter, not kilometer. So DP World has also opened a 100,000 square meter inland empty container depot in Al Awir, Dubai, adding storage and release capacity outside Jebel Ali Port. The facility has direct access to Emirates Road and connects logistic and industrial zones across the UAE while also providing potential for future rail-based container movement through Etihad Rail. Etihad Rail. The depot can handle 20, 40 and 45-foot empty containers and provides inspection, condition reporting and shipping line inventory management services. Ravin Guliani, COO Logistics at DP World GCC, said moving empty containers storage closer to customers would reduce unnecessary trips to the port and make it easier for shipping and logistics companies to reposition equipment. The company said the depot forms part of its wider strategy to extend its logistics offering beyond the port and give its customers more integrated routing, storage, and inland transport options across the region. So this is the news from DP World Dubai. We recorded almost 37 minutes. I was feeling tired and sleepy while sitting, so now I'm on the standing mode. Robot spoiled for ChatGPT moment, Unitary CEO says. US warns Siemens devices can be hacked amid fears. Meta trial that could reshape Facebook, Instagram. What is this? Meta trial that could reshape Facebook, Instagram gets underway. The trial will address claims by 4 US states that Meta designed Facebook and Instagram to addict young children and teenagers. A coalition of states using Meta platforms over claims Facebook and Instagram were designed in a way that harmed young users. Mental health began making it case in Tuesday in California federal court in a trial that could reshape some of the most popular apps in the planet. Lawyers for California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey, which are leading a bipartisan group of 29 states, will give their opening statements before an 8-person jury in Oakland, California. Jurors are expected to issue an advisory verdict, but US District Judge Rogers will determine Meta's liability. If she finds Meta liable, Rogers could impose civil penalties and order changes to Facebook and Instagram. The trial will address claims by the 4 states that Meta designed Facebook and Instagram to addict young children and teenagers, resulting in such harms as anxiety, depression, and even suicide, and misled consumers about the platform's safety. It will also address claims by all 29 states that Meta violated federal law by improperly collecting and using personal data of children while they used its platform. Lawyers for Meta are expected to tell the jury that the company has made a huge effort to keep kids safe online. Meta has said it did not make misleading statements about safety, and the states failed to show their residents were harmed. Meta co-founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Instagram chief Adam Mosseri are expected to testify. The trial is scheduled to last 6 weeks. Biggest test yet. So finally we recorded 40 minutes now, and the remaining are only 20 more minutes. Biggest test yet. Experts have said the trial is the biggest legal test yet of social media's effects on young users and comes amid a broader reckoning across the globe over those effects. Meta has said penalties could be as high as 1.4 trillion, close to the Menlo Park, California-based company's market value. Attorneys general have yet to specify penalties, but said at a hearing last week the amount could be closer to $200 billion, equivalent to about 3 years of after-tax profit for Meta. 3 years of after-tax profit for Meta. California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey also want Meta to implement age restrictions, eliminate the infinite scroll that encourages users to keep looking at new posts, and make other changes to its platforms. In a statement before the trial, a Meta spokesperson said the state's claims are unsubstantiated and the company stands by its record of creating strong protections for teenagers. So we are now moving to the last 20 minutes only. The ages offer no proof anyone in their states was misled. Sorry. Claim begin features like having an additional Instagram account somehow harmed their resident and attempt to penalize Meta for industry-wide challenges like age verification, the spokesperson said. Rather than sticking to the factor or the law, the states have instead deciding to the states have instead decided to chase an outlandish payout. Multi-state investigation. The lawsuit began in 2023 and stemmed from a multi-state investigation into Instagram and Facebook's impact on young users. That followed testimony by whistleblower Francis Hogan, who told the U.S. Senate committee in 2021 that Meta knew its products could harm young users and knew how to make them safer, but chose not to make changes in favor of pursuing higher profits. The states are expected to present a trove of internal documents and research from Meta and testimony from former Meta employees and experts. Meta and other social media companies, including Snap Incorporated, TikTok parent ByteDance, and YouTube parent Alphabet, face thousands of lawsuits by states, municipalities, school districts, and individuals over whether their products harm young users. In March, a Los Angeles jury ordered Meta and Google to pay $6 million to a 20-year-old woman who said she became addicted to Instagram and YouTube media as a child. Earlier this month, a New Mexico judge ordered Meta to pay $567 million into a mental health fund for teenagers after that state's attorney general said the company's platform was a public nuisance. So this is the social media news from Khalij Times. We are reading news from Khalij Times now at this time, and we are just going to last 15 minutes more before we close our live. So we are reaching our target more 15 minutes after more 15 minutes. So let's see the next news, if there is any news in Khalij Times. UA launched unified guide for designing government services powered by Agentic. Okay, what's next? Why a safe workplace in 2026? is about more than hard hats and orange vests. Let's see this news. Health and safety more than work. So finally, we are live again. So we will record extra 5 more minutes because of our live stream disturbed by the network issue. Health and safety more than a workplace requirement. Health and safety is more than a workplace requirement. Organizations that invest in prevention are better equipped to identify potential hazards, assess risk, and put appropriate control in place. We, what does a safe workplace really look like? For many people, it brings to mind hard hats, high visibility jackets, and warning signs. While these are certainly part of workplace safety and only tell part of the story, health and safety cover every part of the working environment, helping employees carry out their responsibilities safely, maintain their health, and perform at their best. Health and safety are often associated with, there is some screen, let's change application here. Yes, better here. So health and safety often associated with construction sites or manufacturing facilities, but every workplace has its own risks. An office employee may develop long-term injuries from poor ergonomics. A warehouse worker may face physical hazards while handling equipment. A driver, technician, or engineer encounters an entirely different set of challenges. While the risks vary, the objective remains the same: to create an environment where people can perform their work safely and confidently. Strong health and safety practices begin long before an incident occurs. Organizations that invest in prevention are better equipped to identify potential hazards, assess risk, and put appropriate controls in place. Regular training, workplace inspections, clear reporting procedures, and ongoing awareness help build a workplace where safety becomes part of everyday operations. Encouraging employees to report hazards and near misses also allows organizations to address issues early and continuously improve their safety practice. Continuously improve their safety practices. The conversation has also broadened to include employee health and well-being. Many organizations now invest in preventive healthcare, mental well-being initiatives, and employee wellness programs alongside occupational health and safety. Health screenings, awareness campaigns, and well-being initiatives help identify concerns early and support employees throughout their careers. A healthy workforce is better equipped to respond to the demands of a changing workplace. This proactive approach delivers multiple benefits. When it comes to protecting people, fewer workplace incidents lead to greater operational continuity, higher employee engagement, stronger productivity, and increased organizational resilience. When employees feel safe and supported, they are better able to focus, collaborate, and contribute to long-term business success. At Galadari Brothers, this philosophy extends across the company's diverse businesses, from office environments to engineering, manufacturing, and operational facilities. Health and safety is embedded into everyday operations through structured risk management, continuous training, and a culture of shared responsibility. In 2025, employees completed more than 60,000 hours of health and safety training, reflecting the company's long-term investment in building safer workplaces. Alongside occupational safety, Galadari Brothers continue to strengthen employee well-being through preventive health screening programs, regular regular mental well-being initiatives, and emergency preparedness training, recognizing that protecting people is fundamental to operational excellence, resilience, and sustainable business growth. As workplaces continue to evolve, health and safety will remain a fundamental responsibility for every organization. Building a strong safety culture requires ongoing commitment, continuous learning, and participation of everyone in the workplace. When organizations make health and safety part of their everyday operations, they create workplaces where people can thrive and businesses are better prepared for the future. So this is from Galadari Brothers. Building a sports destination, not just a sports facility. It's old news. Let's see some other news from Khalij Times. So Khalij Times official newspaper from Dubai and UAE. OpenAI unveils ChatGPT for teens with stronger back to school, how social media and peer pressure shape what children want. Bridgeton star Alan Walker to headline Frequency 971. Alan Walker to headline Frequency 971 Dubai this weekend. The Norwegian DJ will perform at Coca-Cola Arena on August 22 alongside UAE-based DJ Bliss and DJ Slim. Electronic music star Alan Walker is set to return to Dubai this weekend, headlining Frequency 971 at Coca-Cola Arena on Saturday, August 22, tomorrow. Tomorrow. The Norwegian DJ and producer, best known for tracks including Faded, Alone, and Sing Me to Sleep, will take the stage as part of a lineup that also includes UAE-based artists DJ Bliss and DJ Slim. Walker rose to international fame following release of Faded in 2015. The track went on to become one of the biggest hits, accumulating billions of streams and views across digital platforms. The Dubai show follows Walker's Walker World Tour, which has taken him across North America, Europe, and Asia. His latest album, Walker World 2.0, was released in 2025. Organizers said fans attending the Coca-Cola Arena show can expect a mix of Walker's well-known tracks and newer music accompanied by an audiovisual production. Tickets for Frequency 971 starts at Dirham 994 regular standing and silver seating. Diamond tickets are priced at Dirham 199, while fan pit standing tickets cost 299. The standing sections are open to those aged 14 and above. The elevated deck is priced at Dirham 1500. Event details. Frequency 971 featuring Alan Walker, DJ Bliss and DJ Slim when Saturday, August 22, tomorrow. Where Coca-Cola Arena Dubai. Tickets from Dirham 99. So Alan Walker is a very famous singer, artist from Norway. Will be in Dubai tomorrow in the Coca-Cola Arena. It's in the City Walk. Yes, it's in the City Walk, Dubai, just near Burj Khalifa and Dubai Mall metro station. Coca-Cola Arena is very famous. It's near Dubai Mall and Burj Khalifa metro stations. We are just almost 5 minutes more to close our live. Let's see some news from Dawn News. Dawn News is a newspaper, credible newspaper from Pakistan, and it says that Iran's Kalibaf says Tehran must plan to overcome unjust sanctions following US threats. Students to get free access to Google's AI tools for a year as Pakistan and tech giant Google Inc. agreement. Government announces public holiday on August 26 for Eid Miladun Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So in Pakistan there will be public holiday on the 26th of August next in the coming week. Tomorrow is 22, so almost 4 days more. CDF Munir says foreign-sponsored proxies being used by hostile elements to destabilize Balochistan. CDF Munir Field Marshal Asim Munir has said that foreign-sponsored proxies are being employed by hostile elements to destabilize Pakistan, obstruct its development, and create a wedge between the state and its people. The military's media affairs wing said on Friday. According to ISPR Public Relations, he made the remarks while interacting with the political leadership of Balochistan. There is sunlight problem here. There was sunlight problem on the other side. Okay, let's see here. According to ISPR, he made the remarks while interacting with the political leadership of Balochistan. He highlighted that Balochistan is blessed with talented, resilient, patriotic, and proud people. He emphasized that clear national narrative and enduring peace and stability are fundamental to unlocking the province's true economic potential, attracting investment, and translating its abundant human and natural resources into tangible prosperity for its people. CDF Munir also stressed that there was no dearth of talent or opportunities among Balochistan youth, who remain the most vibrant and promising segment of our society. He emphasized that empowering the youth and providing them opportunities for contributing to national progress remains central to sustainable development. CDF Munir stated that Fitna al-Kharij and Fitna al-Hindustan are foreign-sponsored proxies being employed by hostile elements to destabilize Balochistan, obstruct its development, and create a wedge between blah blah blah. This is local news from Pakistan. The next news is Aisha Wahab makes history as first Afghan American elected to US Congress. Body of the US climber who died in a Broad Peak avalanche found. So, Gilgit, the body of US climber Sarah Mallory, who was part of a 10-member expedition team that died in an avalanche on Broad Peak on July 30, was recovered on Friday today. The avalanche struck on July 30, cutting off contact with the 10-member international expedition led by world-renowned British Nepali mountaineer Nirmal Purja on Broad Peak, one of the world's highest mountains. Purja's company later confirmed there were no survivors. The bodies of 8 members of the expedition, including Pakistan's Sohail Sakhi, were found in subsequent missions, but those of Guy's and Nepal's Nawang Sherpa had remained missing. Alpine Club of Pakistan President retired Major General Irfan Arshad Khan said in a statement that the US climber's body was found on the slopes of Broad Peak by local rescue volunteers. He said that the body was in process of being shifted to base camp. ACP General Secretary Ayaz Shigri told Dawn that local porters who were with a trekking team had voluntarily assisted in the search for the body. The body has been identified as Gaze. It will be shifted to base camp and then airlifted to Skardu by Pakistan Army helicopters. He said the search for the remaining missing Nepali climber would continue. Teams sent to Spantik. Separately, a team of local climbers was dispatched to Spantik to retrieve the body of Pakistan climber Dr. Asma Mushtaq, who died after suffering a medical emergency while descending the peak. The ACP said on Thursday she developed a serious high altitude medical emergency at an elevation of about 6,400 meters, 21,000 feet during the descent. High altitude sickness encompasses a range of pulmonary and cerebral conditions caused by hypoxia or oxygen deprivation due to rapid ascent and inadequate acclimatization to high altitudes. Shigri said on Friday that Mushtaq's family had arrived in Skardu. He said arrangements would be made to airlift the body from base camp. Mushtaq originally hailed from Lahore and worked as a UK-based doctor specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. Apart from her medical profession, she was a passionate traveler, vlogger, and mountaineer who actively documented her expeditions on social media. She completed a successful winter ascent of the 4,000 meter Musa Kamusala peak and was associated with expeditions to Rupal and Arandu. She was also a member of Karakoram calling tracks. In a 2024 post seeking K2 sponsorship, she described herself as a doctor and a mountaineer. So finally, she died in an accident in Broad Peak. So let's see. Otherwise, we are going to close. There is no more latest news. Punjab tells arms dealers to make digital inventories. Okay, why structural reforms in Pakistan have never lasted. So the next news is nothing. The next news is nothing news. Anyway, now it's time to close our live at this time. See you tomorrow because we already recorded 1 hour. There was some network issue during this time. That's why I recorded more, so it will deduct from the main video. Bangladesh elect ruling parties Alamgir as president. Dhaka. Lawmakers in Bangladesh elected. We have no studio at this time for our social media, for our streaming, for our studio recordings. We're just recording from somewhere. That's why we are having some issues sometime. But anyway, hopefully, inshallah, next year we will be having our own studio, our own private place for live recording and social media activities. The lawmakers in Bangladesh elected ruling party veteran Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir as the country's president on Thursday, a largely ceremonial post left vacant after the early resignation of his predecessor. Alamgir, 70 years Secretary General of the Bangladesh National Party and local government minister, won 255 votes to become 23rd president of the South Asian country of 170 million people. 170 million people. The only other candidate, Oli Ahmed, nominated by the opposition 11-party alliance led by Jamaat Islami, finished with 88 votes. Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasir Uddin said before the vote, Alamgir had promised to remain beside the people and serve them after resuming his new role. Finally, now it's time to close our live. Thank you very much for your support. Keep supporting and see you tomorrow for the next live. Sometimes the system is really hanging. Sometimes the system is refusing to end our life. Anyway, we have other